A very warm welcome to this week's 60 Minutes of analytical review of the big stories, topical issues and all the controversies are off with the brewing political crisis in Rivers State, where the governor Siminalayi Fubara has been a battle of his life against powerful forces from within and outside the state over the local government election held Saturday. The conflict came to a head on Friday after a contingent of policemen allegedly tried to seize control of the premises of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to seize electoral materials. The governor, who quickly got wind of the move by the police, rushed to the scene and foiled the action, accusing the Inspector General of Police, Iroegbu, of serving the interests of Abuja-based politicians. Fubara said the local government election cannot be stopped, and the election eventually held amid the political crisis, with fingers pointing at the former Rivers State governor and current FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. And of course, we will be going to Port Harcourt to get a feel of what's going on right there with our correspondent, Andy Omano. But before that, we'll be bringing in our guest right here to talk to us about all these issues that are happening. And at the moment, we have in the studio a political affairs commentator who has always been here with us several times, Dixon Iroegbu. Thank you so much for joining us. He is the convener of the indigenous people of Nigeria. And of course, joining us here is Rabiu, who's a researcher and newspaper columnist. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Sugna. Good evening, viewers.
All right.
Dixon, good evening too.
Good evening. All right. So, I mean, let's start with you, Dixon. What do you read into what's actually going on in Port Harcourt right now? Because the local government elections have held amid all the problems going on there.
It's power to the people. Because that's what democracy is about, where strong men attempt to change the rules of the game. You see that if the people understand how powerful they are, like we'll always say, the office of the citizen is the most powerful office in the land. And today, I think the Rivers people showed clearly that it is about them and not any individual at all. And I think the governor must be commended for standing firm and upholding the desires of his people. Because even in this election, of course, we know that his party, political party, the PDP, which I belong to, we're not in the race. But then, of course, the people's interests should count at all times when it comes to governance. And that's what I think played out in Rivers. And from the reports we have gotten so far, it's been peaceful. With all the drama that played out and all that, one thought that, oh, Rivers was going to be hell on earth or hell in Nigeria. But it turned out that the interest of the state was put forward and the people decided to take their destiny in their hands.
All right, although we're reading actually that the state officials, I mean, electoral officials were actually chased in some polling units by some armed men, and some people are claiming that policemen were part of the armed people who actually chased some of the electoral officials and voters away. In specifically, we actually hear it was in Port Harcourt, Lekai here. That's what we actually here, Lekai here Primary School in Port Harcourt City. There was actually an incident there. But well, let's bring you in, Rabiu. This reminds us of actually what regard the Western Crisis region. I mean, just one political party, one region, and before you know it, I mean, you know, it started with the action group. Before you know it, consumed the entire country. Exactly. Are we heading towards there? Because we're having Rivers State.
Thank you for the question. We may not actually be heading in that direction. What actually transpired or is transpiring in Rivers is actually an aberration, and we have seen almost similar instances happening in other states within Nigeria. But like my the panelists here explained, and of course. We must commend Governor Fubara for being bold, for standing up to what is right, what is proper, by holding that election. And then since we have already learned that it is also peaceful, you understand. So it is commendable as against allowing him to be waylaid by vested interests Abuja, you understand. So it's good that he stands his ground, and the election is holding or has held, you understand. So what we're waiting for now is actually the result, you understand. So we say kudos to people of Rivers State for standing up to their rights, you understand?
All right.
Yes. So.
All right. So I'll just ask you to hold on there while we move straight into Port Harcourt. Our correspondent Andy Omano is right there for us in Port Harcourt, so we'll go straight to him. Andy, please, can you speak with us on the latest developments going on there in Port Harcourt at the moment?
Thank you very much. My name is Fineface, Damnamene Fineface. I'm the Executive Director of Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, YEAC Nigeria. Today in Rivers State, we had the local government election, the most controversial of all that have been conducted so far in the Federal Republic of Nigeria since the Supreme Court gave the judgment directing all states to end caretaker committee and resort to democratically elected governments. This is the most controversial we are ever having. Having to navigate the court judgment from the Rivers State High Court, and again, the counter court judgment from Abuja that have been described as a judgment coming from a court of coordinate jurisdiction, bringing all the controversy that we have. But then what we've seen is that the police said from the judgments they are obeying, that they don't have to participate in the election, they are withdrawing from the election. And then one other controversial comment they added to their statement yesterday is what was almost like setting the police against the governor of the state and the people of Rivers State when they said they are not going to allow the election from holding. That became a very serious issue. But then I believe strongly that in a way, the election eventually held and the police try to participate in a way because they were using the major roads to go about the entire processes and trying to also ensure that lives and properties were being, protected by them. But then the election held in many places. Some places the election did not hold. Some other areas turnout was low. Some other areas we have some pockets of violence. And we also saw a video of some police officers cutting away with electoral materials in parts of Rivers State. So all of these things happen. But in all of them, whether it is one or two people that came out to vote, the voting has taken place. The election has been concluded, and we are currently awaiting results, which I believe, even if it's 20 people that turn up in each of the local government areas of the state to vote for candidates of their choice, the candidate that scored the highest number of that 20 votes will be declared the winner. I believe that is what is going to happen from now. And by the way Rivers politics goes, considering the fact that in the past, we also had a situation whereby, the state's appropriation bill were passed within hours. Then I believe that the moment the winners are declared this evening, like the governor said, that winners will be declared and they will be sworn in. I believe that before 4 p.m. tomorrow, they would have been sworn in as democratically elected council chairman of Rivers State, so that they may not want to waste time till Monday, so that court's injunction do not come and prevent them from being sworn in. So all of these processes are going to roll from now till tomorrow. So I congratulate those who have been participating in the process.
All right, Damnamene, sorry, I had to actually mispronounce your name earlier. It was actually you and not our correspondent, so apologies for that. Well, talk to us about what we are hearing that actually happened at Eleka here Primary School in Port Harcourt City. We actually told that there was a situation whereby the voters and polling officials were actually chased away. Have you heard anything yourself or confirmed that?
Yes, I heard of that as well. I think it also happened in one of the units in the Ogoni area. I saw the video sent to me that in this polling unit, they came without the original results. And as a result of that, the local people chased them away. So that happened in Eleka. I've also heard it from the Ogoni area. And then around the Rumusi area of Obiakpo local government area, we heard about some gunshots in the afternoon. And also this evening, we are hearing that around the Rumuala area, which is where we have the headquarters of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, that there were some gunshots this afternoon as well. And then somewhere around Eleme area, the king of Banga Kingdom, Meneswanu T.Y. Baredam, was attacked. His car was shot and shot at. He also sustained some injuries, minor injuries, but his car was damaged. So that happened. He's a first-class traditional ruler in Rivers State. That happened. And a lot of little pockets of incidents happened. But in all of these things that happened, I must say that Rivers State have learned from the mistakes of the past, whereby they took politics too extreme, to the extent that they have to kill their brothers, kill their sisters. The way it was sounding yesterday, breaking today, it was like Rivers State was going to burn today. But I'm happy that our advocacy, our peace moves and everything, we try to talk to them. They are hiding that, and we didn't get to hear too many violence from these ones we have talked about. We also heard some unconfirmed reports about a bomb explosion at APC Secretariat in Port Harcourt.
Yes, actually, I wanted you to talk about that. I mean, very quickly, in 30 seconds, what exactly do we really, think about what happened? Because people are saying that it was just an accident. Others are saying that it was an explosive planted by political opponents. And others are even accusing the APC, saying that it's its own factions that are responsible for all of that.
All of these things could happen because when people want to score political points, they can go out of their ways to make something happen so that they can put it on record that it happened here. Remember, ahead of this election, we've had like 2 gunshots and explosives at the Rivers State office of the All People's Party, the APP, that is leading the local government elections, because all those who moved from PDP took tickets on that party. As a result of that, they felt they were going to come from a minor party to a major party in the state, which I believe is also going to be, because all those who are there are those that are moving from the PDP to the APP. So as a result of that, there is a tendency that majority of those who are going to win the election that was conducted today are those of the APP that move from the PDP. So you have a system of APP in Rivers State. So all of these are possible for political point to be scored. Whether it was a minor incident or it was the same political party that caused that, it has gone on record that there was an incident of bomb at the APC Secretariat. So these are some of the things they should avoid, because the world was focused on Rivers State, the country was focused on Rivers State, and all of these incidents of violence has been recorded.
All right, fine face Damnamene, we must thank you so much. He's a political affairs analyst based in Rivers State. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed as to the political developments in Port Harcourt, the state capital. And we'll come straight to you back in studio. Dixon, let's talk about this, and as we quickly try to wrap up this Rivers issue. The conduct of security agencies within this period. I mean, you would have heard the state governor actually saying that, look, the policemen have not been doing their job very well. They are too partisan. And then now there was an explosion at the APC Secretariat. The PDP has said that they were withdrawing from the race and all of that. Lots of things happening. How do you think that the police have behaved under this circumstance? Because the IG2 also issued a statement saying that the governor, Sim Fubara, has been more political actually with his statements.
Well, I think it's the IG that is a bit more political with his statements, in my view. Because the police ought to serve the Nigerian people. But somehow we seem to be observing that the police seem to be involved in politics, and that shouldn't be. In fact, this particular Rivers issue or case did expose the police a lot. I think after this election, there should be a lot of reforms within the police. The IG, if he is neutral truly, should take this seriously, because the image of the Nigerian police is at stake here. Okay. I felt disappointed personally as a citizen that here we were seeing the police almost identifying with a particular political party. I think it shouldn't be. All right,
Senator Rabiu, talk to us about this.
Yes, I think it is not only the police that are being indicted here, even the judiciary, you understand. We have the Federal High Court giving a different ruling, the State High Court giving a different ruling, you understand. That is too controversial, that is too what do I say? It's just wrong, totally wrong. And for the police to be partisan, it is like mutineering.
Well, the police has actually denied the partisanship.
No, but we saw their actions, so it's not about denying.
You understand? Their duty is to safeguard life and property of citizens of Nigeria.
Yeah, but they said they were withdrawing from the election because according to them, there's what's it called? There's a court order, and now we hear there was an explosion and all of that.
Agreed.
And people are wondering, could the police?
Agreed. They don't have that power. Even the court, the Federal High Court, either the State High Court, don't have that power. You understand? The Constitution is supreme. You understand? No law is more supreme than the Constitution.
Than the Constitution, yes.
And then, if the High Court is saying no, we are cancelling, don't hold this election, they don't have that right because they are not.
Well, the courts actually didn't say that the election should not hold.
But even at the issue of withdrawing,
they didn't give that judgment based on certain sections of the Constitution. They didn't.
Yes, I think even the police telling us that because of court judgment that they are withdrawing their duty, constitutionally provided duty to provide security and save lives and property. I think it's are they saying that there could come one day in Nigeria when we would get some judgment for the police to allow anarchy in our country? That's alarming.
Well, I mean, it was the first one for us to hear, actually, that the police is actually withdrawing from, its constitutional responsibilities. I mean, but of course, we just have to move on to our next story now. Nigeria in the week marked its 64th independence anniversary, with President Bola Tinubu urging more understanding for its policies amid the current harsh economic climate. The president, in a nationwide broadcast, also agreed to convoke a month-long national youth conference as part of his plans to forge a better country. Now, Tinubu is Nigeria's 16th president and stands at the threshold of history to turn things around positively for the largest black nation in the world. And of course, we still have right here in the studio our guest who are with us. Rabiu is a research analyst, and then of course newspaper columnist, and of course Dixon Iroegbu here is the convener of the indigenous people of Nigeria. Okay, yeah, okay, very interesting. Yeah, so I mean, talk to us, Dixon, about the president's statements and the desire to actually convoke a youth conference for young people and all of that. 1 month, and people are saying that that speech was long on rhetoric and short on, actual decisions as to what Nigerians are facing. People expected some very, very stronger points from the president's speech, but some people said this wasn't so good enough.
My first reaction when after watching that speech was, this was hopeless, from a man who is marketing renewed hope. My first post on my platforms was that this just gives Nigerians more like the mood that you'd want to give up on your country. Because Independence Day, we thought the president should have somehow used that day to re-engineer the minds of the Nigerian people towards believing in their country. Because this country belongs to all of us. And from the platform that I lead, for instance, the indigenous people of Nigeria, before the amalgamation of Nigeria, before the white men came here, right, we had Nigerians live here. We had the Igbos, we had Hausas, we had the Yorubas, we had all the tribes that makes Nigeria. So it's not like these people were now brought from somewhere after the amalgamation. So I think the president missed an opportunity to get Nigerians to buy into
so what exactly were you expecting? I was
expecting, for instance, a man or a president who has taken us back to the old anthem would have that day reminded us where we were coming from. For instance, that day could have been a good day to make a policy statement that the National Assembly could possibly adopt as regards the issue of regional governance or regional government, because that's where we were coming from. If we could revert back to the 1963 document before, because that's actually the document that, if in my view, highlights the nationhood or the vision of our founding fathers before the military struck in 1966. So that day I thought the president would have reawakened our patriotic consciousness, because patriotism seems to be missing now in our country.
All right.
Our patriots seem to have, taken off or jackpot out of our country. Because those days, right, if you please will allow me, those days we had leaders who were patriotic. We had the Sarduanas of Sokoto who did not care just about himself, but when it came to the time of choosing who was going to be prime minister, he didn't care, particularly just me and me alone, unlike what is happening now. He supported Tafawa Balewa to go there. We had leaders like Nnamdi Azikiwe who would say, oh, that it doesn't matter who became prime minister or who became president, but that the interests of the Nigerian people. That was what personally I was looking out for from the president of Nigeria. And we didn't get that. Then the aspect of convoking National Youth Conference, I think is just another jamboree. This president is just handpicking those that he can patronize, bring them to his side, and of course, towards his plan to grab and hold on to Nigeria 2027. But I think that will be a jamboree that the youth of this country, if they embrace it, if they fall for that, then I will be disappointed. That should not be
we're bringing you in here, Rabiu. Let's talk about how the president tried to, in his own way, inform Nigerians of what he has done, pleading with them that, look, in terms of this economic hardship, he understands what's going on, but let's create more time. And he says he has already got $30 billion of investments coming in, though people are beginning to dispute that. I mean, from your own research, what exactly do you think the president has achieved more under this time?
From my own point of view, this government and the president haven't achieved 30% or less than 30% of what my expectations were before this government came on board. You understand? So telling Nigerians to exercise patience, you understand, it's not just the way to go. That is one. And secondly, telling Nigerians that this is what he has done is just not the way to go. You understand? He's supposed to come out and say, oh, okay, those issues that were highlighted during the governance protest, you understand, and then subsequently, you understand, okay, yeah, fuel, okay, this is what we are doing. Dangote is almost on stream. Okay, this is what we intend to do, or this is why up to now Dangote is not in the filling station. You understand? That is my expectation. You understand? And then my expectation also is okay as regards the minimum wage that has not actually taken off. You understand? Okay, this is what we are doing to
well, the government says it's taking off this.
You understand? And then that is on the one side. On the one hand, you understand. On the second hand is that, okay, what about the private sector? You understand? Okay, government knows how it's getting its own money, but what about the private sector? Where are they going to get their own money to make sure that they maintain that 70,000 minimum wage? You understand? It is just so absurd. You understand? Because the Minister of Labour, I read somewhere recently that he said that 70,000 is a law now. So all establishment must abide by that. You understand? Okay, I'm a private citizen. You understand? I have a company. You understand? And then I have employees. You understand? So how much am I supposed to pay them? 70,000. So where am I going to get that 70,000 from? Where is the business in the land? You understand? Dollar is crazy, like 1,700 naira to the dollar. You understand? And then what about custom duty? How do I import? How much am I paying at the port? You understand? And then all sort of taxes are there.
Well, the president says that's why he's going around trying to get more investment into Nigeria, and his efforts have led to about $30 billion. That's what he said. Well, though people are beginning to see actually some of them haven't yielded any fruit, and we still have. It's just mere commitment.
Yeah, they won't yield. You understand? Because as an investor, if you read Nigeria, you hear insecurity. If you read Nigeria, you hear inflation. If you read anything about Nigeria, you hear all sorts of stories. You understand? So that is not a comforting news to an investor to come in with his hard-earned money. You understand? To come and invest in a country that doesn't seem to know where it is heading to. You understand? So saying he has 30 billion coming in, well, they have collected probably more than that, or almost up to that. From May last year to date, you understand? We haven't seen anything on the ground, you understand? Okay. It is just more burden on Nigeria, you understand, and on Nigerians. So it is actually sad. And for the youth convoke, you understand, it's more like cronyism, you understand. Just, okay, let's get this set of people and then let's touch the money so that the tension will...
Well, I mean, young people have actually been protesting since August. We actually had the End Bad Governance, and then, of course, there was the Fearless in October. The young people actually seem to be looking for a much more better Nigeria. As people who have been following this country, if the leaders have been failing, what should Nigerians be doing on their own to build a better country? Because, I mean, we can't just leave the country to the leaders alone. So what should Nigerians be doing themselves? Because every time we're always pointing fingers at our leaders and all of that. Okay, yeah, it's 64 years since our independence. What should we as citizens be doing to make our country better?
It still falls back to leadership because, like Abiola said a long time ago, when the head is rotten, the entire body will stink. So if the leaders or the leadership is not showing the younger ones examples they should follow, I wonder what you would expect the ordinary man on the street.
But is it the younger ones who go about doing Yahoo, doing other things and other? I mean, shouldn't Nigerians have more respect for their country?
I don't think that...
By engaging in enterprises, I mean, young people engaging in enterprises that actually help.
If 0.01% of Nigerian young people are into Yahoo, should not be the reason why we now conclude that all young people
well, of course, it's not all young people, but
not,
you know that
so
the image of those young people is actually affecting the overall majority of Nigerians.
No, because by every means, even the institutions of state, like EFCC and all of that, rather than focus on what it should be doing, you know, hunting down those who are destroying our economy within the leadership of our country and all of that. They are going for petty things and all of that and using it as achievement and all that and blowing it up. I don't think that the attention we're giving to that very crime of Yahoo and all that we should use it to judge all young people. Young people have shown that they can organize themselves. We remember the NSAS protest. For 12 days, young people were across this country. In fact, in this country, I have never seen that level of organization, not even within government. Young people were organized on the streets, protested on one particular thing. Until the 13th day, government infiltrated their camp, now instigated the violence that eventually became the issue of NSAS.
Well, I mean, that's an allegation that the government still keeps denying that.
Some now we can't keep pretending about
well, I mean,
this.
I'm just
telling
you what the government says.
Well, government can claim all that it can claim, but the reality is out there for us to see. I was on the street. Both for NSAS, I was on the street, both for End Bad Governance and the last one, the Fearless.
Yeah, the Fearless
I was there.
October.
Because by every means, that is our right. You can't smack a child.
Yeah, but what are you doing on your own to contribute to the development of the country? That's what I'm saying.
What we are doing.
More Nigerians complain more than providing solutions or acting the solutions out.
Are you saying that it is the duty of the ordinary citizens to now begin to profile solutions to this country?
Of course, you're still part of it.
Are we the ones that would determine how much a bag of garri will be in the market?
No, but the thing is that shouldn't people engage more?
We're engaging.
Because what the government is saying, actually, Dixon, is that, look, more Nigerians are not patriotic to their country. Because if they are, they wouldn't be engaging in more things that actually cause more problems.
It is actually the other way around. The leaders of this country are not patriotic at all. Just like I reeled out. We remember the leaders that founded Nigeria. We know the sacrifices they made for the Nigerian nation to take off and all that. None of them was about the individual self. Okay. But what we are seeing today from our leaders is the greed of self. They keep grabbing, and even the ones they don't need, they keep holding on to it.
Right.
So by every means, we shouldn't put it to the table of young people. Leadership still remains the problem.
Yeah, but of course, I think the president has identified this, that some sort of solutions could come from young people. That's why maybe in his own wisdom, he has decided that, look, let me listen to the young people this time around. And so how do you think that young people, Rabiu, how do you think that young people could take advantage of this and say, Mr. President, this is what we are doing to make Nigeria great, and this is what we could do better if the government or those in power actually support us more?
Yes, there are a lot of things that the young people are doing and could do going forward, you understand. But are the required enabling environment available, made to them? You understand? First of all, you need to show patriotism. So is it there? You need to show people that, okay, I am patriotic. so that it will also drill down to others, you understand, so that they will also be patriotic, you understand. You need to show them that, okay, you are selfless, you understand. It is the country and nothing more. Nothing more, just the country, you understand. So if you don't show those examples, then whatever it is that people will try to do, or the young ones will try to do, you understand, you will see that it is almost an effort that might not yield the desired result, you understand. Okay, recently, they said Nigeria is going to Silicon Valley, the Nigerian startup house, you understand. This is a Nigerian property that has laid fallow for over 15 years. Nobody has touched it, you understand. Only God knows how they have been managing it. Probably they have been collecting money, saying for renovation and so on, only to tell us now that this is in disrepair, you understand. It is in San Francisco, and it's supposed to be a startup for Nigerian use. You mentioned about the Yahoo Yahoo. My expectation is that, okay, that should be a project to tie down to these young ones that are saying that the government is saying they are doing Yahoo Yahoo, so that channel their intellect, their intelligence in that direction. But,
all right,
but unfortunately, there's no blueprint on the ground to show that is where the government is going. So the environment is just not there. They want to do more, you understand, but the environment...
Yeah, but that's why I asked, how could the young people take advantage of this? Because the president seems to be listening. If you listen to his speech very well, he actually felt concerned, maybe by the protests in August, and then, of course, the recent one.
If you look at it, you see that they are moving all over the world, you understand, raising capital.
How could they take advantage of this conference now that the president is saying for 30 days to send?
Let me come in a bit,
this particular
please.
Conference, you understand, it is not going to achieve the intended purpose. Our own intended purpose, you understand. They have their own objective. They have their own mindset.
Who are they and who are
the conveners?
Yeah. The president and his team.
Exactly.
All right.
Like I said, we have seen how these young ones were able to organize themselves during the protest, you understand. But okay, you are supposed to call the organizers of that particular thing.
Well, they were faceless actually, Rabiu, because we are out of time. Let me just add this,
because talking about leading by example, look at the president who is just gone for vacation. Where is he? Far away in London.
Well,
we have places he could have had that vacation. That's leading by example.
I mean, it's been the elite culture in Nigeria, and people just keep wondering why that happens.
We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's why this madness is in our country, and you want to now put it on young people. I take exception to the attempt to now put the blame on young people.
Well, nobody is putting it.
My thinking is that
from young people. Yeah, I mean, the president think that maybe he's not getting enough advice from his team. And he's asking that, look, young people I now want to listen to you. So I'm giving you 1 month.
The end hunger protest, for instance. We gave enough notice, at least more than 2 months notice that this was going to happen. Yes. And then these were our demands and all of that. The president, after the whole thing, after calling these different groups of people, including the royal fathers in this land of Nigeria, in fact, the true custodians of the authority of Nigeria, in their midst, the president told them that he bought the seat of power with his resources. How much is Nigeria? So that's no.
I don't have that fact, actually.
It's out there. It's in public domain. When he had a meeting with the royal fathers, he told them that he got here by his own personal resources and all that. So by every means, I think sincerely that this president is not sincere.
What you said is actually that he bought, but you put it in proper perspective now.
That's what he means. Because by every means, if this president means well, after that very moment, did he even invite these people? No. And then when he addressed the nation, not even one single demand of the young people did he address.
And you think that I will attempt to understand what the government has been battling and what some people were saying is that some of these youth groups were faceless.
No, they're not faceless.
That's what they themselves, even some of the organizers, they say it was random and all of that and all of that.
Oh, please.
So, but let's look at the issues raised, both in the end bad governance protests and then, of course, the recent one and all of that. Do you think that some of those issues are enough for the president to have addressed when it comes to young people and what they want for Nigeria rather than convoking this conference?
I maintain my position that this conference is a jamboree. It's more like divide and rule. The president wants to get some people that will fall for this because there is hunger in the land. Of course, a lot of people will fall for it. And when the stipends within that 1 month is given to them, they will still go out on the streets to possibly
Are you saying that those young people who come there don't have a mind of their own, even if they are given?
No, it's not about. It's not. I'm not lumping the whole young. There will be a few. There will be a few that could buy into it. This is more like a political patronage kind of. You know, Jagaban is a master in this patronage thing that he is about to do now.
Yeah,
so, but I think sincerely is a misplaced priority really, because if he really means well for this country, and indeed he wants to capture the interests of young people, this is very recent leave that he has taken or whatever.
You shouldn't have
taken it to that.
Well,
he could have just said, okay, a body on, invite some key guys and sit down with them and say, guys, I've heard you. Forget the blah, 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 the issues of the nation. This is my vision. This is where we should go. And I want you to buy it.
Very quickly, Rabiu, just before I let you
for a leader, when you say you are a leader, you don't have time for rest. You don't have time for a leader.
Well, I mean, this is an entitlement. I mean,
what
if you're working in your workplace,
when there's hunger, acute hunger in the land.
Well, that's why we have a hierarchy of government. I mean, don't we have the vice president and others?
Oh, please.
200 million plus souls on his shoulders.
All right. Well,
that should make you sleepless.
I think
sleepless. You can't eat, you can't drink, but you solve their problem.
We just hope we'll have those kind of leaders in the future. But for now, he's following the rule book. A president deserves to have a vacation.
But then the young people should also not be placed.
Okay, so Rabiu, very quickly, I want you to talk about that too. Do you think that the president could have just taken all the demands of the youth during end bad governance, and then, of course, this one, and then put it together, and then discard this idea of, if he does that, could that actually work?
That would have been perfect. That would have been better.
All right.
Much better. Far, far, far better, you understand, than this convoke. This convoke is nothing but a tea party. Nothing will happen. Nothing will come out of it, you understand? Because whatever decision is taken, you understand, it's not going to have any
all right, guys. Unfortunately,
let me add that if the president indeed wants to give young people a sense of belonging in the country, those ones languishing in jail now because of protest now is a felony in Nigeria. This is the same protest that the president, while he was in the opposition, embarked upon almost every now and then. So if he means well for these young people, those people languishing in jail for just protesting against the ills in our country should not be allowed to stay in there.
All right,
that would be when we take him serious. But this one is just a jamboree.
All right, that's actually a very strong one, because remember, former Senator Shehu Sani has said that President Tinubu was the father of all protesters.
Okay, exactly. So we learn from him.
So everybody learned from him. So this is a very strong one. I just hope that the president will take note. Dixon Iroegbu is the convener of the indigenous people of Nigeria, and of course he's also a political analyst, a member of the People's Democratic Party, and a former obedient.
Yes, fully. No, not former. I'm still obedient. It doesn't matter what political party.
All right, and of course Rabiu here is a researcher and a newspaper columnist. Thank you so much.